How you doing? Welcome to the Stepdad Chronicles, where I basically try and talk about situations experiences that you might go through when you're dating a girl who has kids that are not by you. So this one I want to talk about co-parenting, basically working together. Now, I had mentioned in a previous video that there may be up to 4 people raising the child. The actual mother and father, you coming along being with, from my position, the mother, and then the father's girlfriend have that B1. So that's up to 4 people raising these kids. You all have to be on the same page. You don't have to agree 100% with everything, but you do have to remember that the parents do have the final say. So you're just there to accompany and cheerlead. You're not really there to dictate and say what's going to happen. These are not your children. That's going to get you into a lot of trouble. The best that you can do is aid. You can assist, but you can't really try and take lead. That's where you really get into trouble. You have to let these parents be parents. Sit on the sidelines and just observe. Help where you can, but you can't dictate what's going to happen. Ultimately, these are not your children, and you must remember that. That will make things a lot easier. Now, I know that can be used in a hurtful way, but also this is a protective thing. You have to look at it from the child's standpoint also, too. If he's got his 2 parents who, he calls mom and dad, and then you're in the picture arguing with the mother over how things are going, they're really confused in the situation because they don't really get to see the part where the dad and the mom argue. That's usually done over the phone or something like that. So they're seeing you fight. They might not really understand why. They might even think that you're trying to fight for them and the father is doing something bad, but you don't know how kids think. I mean, it's just a lot better if the 2 parents come to a decision. If you need to be there to assist because this is going to be a long-term relationship and how it's going to be, you want to introduce yourselves and kind of get to an understanding, that would probably be best. But everyone has to be willing and open-minded to help co-parent. And what I mean by that is you can help with, the laundry, the homework, the cooking. But you can't necessarily dictate where they go and not go. Now, you can give input and give pros and cons, but ultimately you do not have the final say, and do not fight like you do have the final say. That would be my best advice to you. It's hard enough, I would say, if you try and put yourself in the position of the parents. I would just say, if I was my girlfriend, just looking at it from her eyes. Now, I've had this relationship that didn't work out. Now I'm with a guy and it's kind of working out, but I got the father to kind of deal with. From our situation, he's kind of a butt, and he kind of parents from ego. And what I mean by that is he wants to be the one to do things, which is totally understandable. You are the father, but he does not put himself in a position to be a father. And what I mean by that is his phone is constantly off. He lives far away, but he keeps screaming and yelling at the girlfriend, talking about, you don't involve me in the child's life. When, from what I've seen, when she tries to, he's really unavailable. So it's very difficult to kind of balance that from her. But for me, from the outside looking in, I'm like, but she's stuck. He's the father of the child. You've got to be supportive, and you can't necessarily be dictative.